$375. The reason why I say up to is because it takes 5% of a pool, and if we don't hit the cap of that pool, that's the maximum amount you can get, where so far it's always been that way. But it could vary. The fact is, this is a bridge income that will show you where the real money is. But the point, if you bear with me, understand that the key is, think of it a building this place. The first thing, you make a hole and you build a foundation. And then you lay down one brick, and another brick, and another brick. And then eventually you start building your foundation, the wall's coming up. Are you following me? Well, these are your climbs. Every time you get a brick, that's 500 points. Every time you help someone make $75, half their product is paid for. Do you understand the value that that has? Half the product is paid for. So that's what really kicks things into gear. Now, if we move on to the next step, you help those same three to earn $375 like you did. Now you're earning $1,500 US a month. This is super generous. Again, this is not the big income, this is the bridge income. I know, but my dad retired. Now for the first time he's dealing with dementia and there's issues going on. And thank God, and that's the thing, is in Quebec, Argyle Medical Center has agreed because they understood. Imagine that. They heard of glutathione. They heard of a supplement. And a nurse came to me after and says, would you be open if we make sure that your dad takes his product? Folks, hospital want nothing to do with supplements. I know, because I deal for 10 years and I've been dealing with this. It's evolving. This is how serious it's becoming. People are aware of that. I'm not saying every hospital will. Okay, not all doctors are really equal. Some are above doctors that really want to help their patients, and you'll get to that. The point here is $1,500 a month for helping 3 people earn $375 a month. Now that's hot. You do that in Africa, you will become a rich person. You do that in the Philippines, you'll be very wealthy. Because it's attainable. And that kind of income in these markets, it's what the managers earn. You do that in Canada, it may not be a full-time job, but you add this to your full-time job, whoa. Well, remember, this is US. It becomes very attractive. And remember, we are not dealing with snake oil here. We are dealing with a credible product that is backed up by science. Moving on to the next slide. Now, those 5, I'm talking about the same 5 people. This is a strategy I teach all over the world. Those 5, we have a 2-team structure. It's called a binary. But let me tell you what that means. Binary in a computer term is 0 and 1. It's 2 choice. One choice or the other. And with that concept, we've created incredible machines today. But looking at this point, that means 2 choice. You've got a left team, you've got a right team. Because 5 is an uneven number, then 1 will end up on the other side and 1. So if we go back to the climbs, do you recall, to qualify to get the $75, how many points had that person generated? Anybody can tell me? 500. 500 points. So if you help these 3 people earn $75, you know that you're going to have 500 points 3 times your life. What does that total up to? 1,500 points. It's my brother. Because he's calling from my dad already. So from there, on the right-hand side, we have 2 people here. So these 2 people, what happened is, if they earn their $75, what does that total up then? I know you guys can count. 500 times 2. 1,000. Okay? Now, I want you to understand this because people say, well, how do I make this money? Help people make $75. And every time you do that, by helping them get their 5 and 2 products a month. Moving on to the next slide, or the next step. These are the monthly income based on the legend of growth. So for example, a bronze associate is someone who generates 2,000 CV on his left team, and 2,000 CV on his right team. Here, we're just starting. You're starting earning your prime bonuses, but now you know there's 1,500 here and there's 1,000 here. So here's what we need to do. You don't need to go and start recruiting everybody. You need to help these people to be where you are, to earn that monthly income with the primes. And you're going to keep adding. So if this person on the bottom turns around and starts qualifying and he starts building his team, these 500 points will start popping. And eventually, when momentum hits like popcorn, it starts pop. You know the microwave? Pop, pop. Remember that? Pop, pop, pop. No. You know what I'm talking about? The little bags in the microwave? And it popped and then. And now you know what's coming. You can smell the butter. Well, this is momentum. Try it tonight if you have one of those popcorn things. It's fun, right? Don't put your face in front of the microwave. They sit about 2 meters away from the microwave. Okay. So the fact here is, this is what happens. And when you start helping people earning these 575, you keep adding these blocks of 500 points. And that's how we climb the ladder. And this is how we've been helping, move on to the next slide, Tanya, people to get here. This is my goal for Canadians. This is the income I want to help Canadians reach. My goal in the next, that's the reason we're traveling, that's the reason we're here with you today. We want to help you, the one who can see the big picture and the vision, to reach these income level if this is interesting to you. Many folks just want to be on the product, some they just want to get the products for free. That's okay too. The fact is, we're looking for 10 people in Canada to screen into the next 2 years. So how do we do that? Well, if you look at the amount, just for your sake discussion, 60,000 on your right, 60,000 on your left. That means you're not alone anymore that are helping others earning those $75. And that's how I teach. I keep it super simple, stupid. And if you do that, duplication will occur with a product that works. That's the reason we're in 15 countries around the world, and I absolutely love this business with a passion you can probably feel. Because I know what you will get out of this. From there, for example, my wife and I are here, but remember, this didn't happen overnight. It happened over time. And we've been traveling around the world to teach. Now I'm realizing that we're bigger abroad than we are domestically. So my wife and I look at each other, we need to do something about Canadians. So we're touring within our own country to help. We have a couple from Hamilton that came down over here. And you'll see that you'll have people from all over coming down to see what is going on. Because it works. So moving on to the next slide. You go ahead, Tanya.
So how do you get started? To get started into the company, it's $49 US. And that will give you a position in the company, in the organization. The person who brought you in will give you more details. So it's $49 US, and you have everything lined up for you to succeed. The customer support, you have research technology, legal patents pending, because people are always wondering, well, what's in $49? You get a marketing kit, ABCs, how to get started in your business, and of course the person who brought you in, you got a support team. I mean, Scott and Elaine are great leaders that are developing this market. Through them, this has aspired, so it's fantastic what you have been doing here. And so we have also a great Max app. You know, today's world, everything's fast, right? In today's world, well, we have technology that helps you send information to people, send them a quick text, and you're in business.
And don't be intimidated if technology is not your thing. It's just an add-on.
Exactly. So there's many features for people to benefit from the $49, and then you decide which package you want to get started with. Okay, Chris mentioned the personal one. That's more of a personal consumption, but the $250, I really like this package as well, because that one has 2 boxes of this, 1 box of the ATP, which has 30 sachets. You have 8 one-week bottles here, and you have 30 sachets in this box. And it has these little plastic sections and little inserts for you to learn about the product, and you sell those in your social environment, and it gives people a week of trial for people to try the product.
So let's give an example. If someone comes in, for example, with a package of 250 at the top there, well, that particular package, like Sammy's described, will give you 8 intro pack. You're selling for $40 Canadian. You get your money back. You can put your money back into your bank, and and now you broke even. You tell me a business you can start and right away break even. It doesn't really exist. But it's designed to work for people who not necessarily have business expertise, but it can share with others. And that's how it grows. And when you look at the professional and Premier Pack, they're just more product. Think of it as a farmer who has land. One has, just in proportion, that the Premier Pack would be like 25 lines that you're planting, where the other one in the center would be maybe 10 lines that you're planting, and the one on the right, the personal, would be like 2 lines. Are you following me in proportion? So the more you plant, when it comes time to harvest, the more you will have. So if there's more people on these products that share their story, you will get phone calls, people are going to want to get more information, some people are going to become customers, some people are going to become associates, and your business will expand faster. So this is a choice. But it doesn't matter what package you choose, you have an equal opportunity to get to the top. It depends on your financial situation or your motivation to wanting to do so. So we're right now established in multiple countries. Okay, the new market, we have Guatemala now that's been added. It's brand new. Okay, and so we have US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Costa Rica, Colombia, El Salvador, Hong Kong, Ghana, Malaysia, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, I was supposed to say in one breath now, and Guatemala. And there's more. Again, this is not official. We're working in France, right? Europe. It's not official. We're working in Guinea. It's another country of Africa. And there's others. The Indonesia we're working with. Some really highly political influence. They love the product. They've seen what's going on. There's a lot going on. Eventually, this company will be all over the world. Think of it as Microsoft 50 years ago, or 20, 30, 40 years ago. Apple 40 years ago, right? Would have been a good time to buy their shares? Yes. This is where we're at. This will grow. Why do I know it will grow? Because we're providing a solution, a tangible solution to a very common problem that we're dealing all over the world. The only question is, does these products work from your point of view? Right? Moving on to the next slide. Oh yeah, we've achieved 300 million in sales in its first 8 years of business. So that was from 2007 to close to 11. And we paid over 150 million. So here's the point, it's not the amounts, it's the fact that every time the company earns $1, 50 cents is given back to a consumer. Do you think that your employer does that? They don't pay employees based on 50 cents of profit they give to you. It's like a penny to a dollar, right? That's reality. But this is what's happening within our industry, and people are discovering this. And that's the reason that curve is climbing. It's because people are earning a legitimate income by providing a tangible service to society. Moving on to the next slide. You go ahead.
So the person who invited you here has really brought you a gift. I know that when we saw this 10 years ago, I mean, if we had a crystal ball, I would have no idea where we are today. I'm just blown away, and it can happen for anybody, because we're just average people. Chris was a software engineer, walked away from his career. You know, we both went full-time in this industry, and we get to build a business on mission, purpose-driven, rather than work, and not get that sensation.
Let's move on to the next slide for the sake of time for everybody. So the 3 elements is, the 3 keys. Number 1 is, it's important to have set your goals, have a vision. What is important to you, what matters to you? Because anybody I work with, anybody I mentor, if there's no goal, there is no destination, there is no results. If there is a goal, it changes perspective in life. And that I've learned now. I've learned that the hard way. Set your goals, very important. Number 2, willing to work. Well, when people have a goal and a direction, they tend to want to work to get to that goal, right? And the last one is willing to learn and unlearn. Just humble yourself to learn and understand what we do. It's really simple. And sometimes we tend to complicate the heck out of this thing, and we don't have to complicate this. It's simple. Keep it simple. People will be interested. Keep it complicated. I have no time. And that's what's going to happen. Keep it simple. You know, I love this gentleman, Sir Richard Branson. We're almost done here. Is if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes and learn how to relate it. Why am I stating this? This is how a billionaire thinks. These guys, what they do is, if they're, okay, I don't know how to go about doing this business, but it makes sense. I did my due diligence on these products, and Scott did. As he mentioned, he didn't know how to go about it, but he got involved. While he got involved, he learned the process. Now he knows how, and this is the reason why he's sitting here today. It's the process and the culture that's being created by sharing good information like this. And that's a statement. Again, I want to use that as an example. In the last slide, you know, I want to finish with that. I mean, I'll let you finish the last word before we get a few stories. But what happens is your life today is a result of your attitude and decision of the past. If you're not happy where you are today, don't think that it has to be the way like this for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, humans, we're not robots. We can't just flip a switch and say, oh, now I'm doing this. It's an emotional thing. But I want you to understand that your life tomorrow will be the results of your decision that you're going to make today. When I stated 10 years ago, we still with this company, we're in debt up to our eyeballs. That was a state at the time. I couldn't want to get a job and try to pay my debt, like most people do. I said, I will make it or break it, but I'm going for my goals. And from that point on, we build this thing, and we've done extremely well for ourselves. So my point in this message is, your life tomorrow will be the results of the decisions you're going to make today. People have no idea how powerful you are. I'm not kidding. You have so much talent, so much power. I speak to many of you, and you don't realize what you have to offer. And you're selling yourself short all the time. The fact here is there's a lot of people that need this. Just let them know about it. They're not open, that's okay. Move on to a person that might be open. And sometimes, as happens to us all, we get phone calls. That's that pill that you're talking, you know, I heard about it from my brother, and I know you've been doing this for 10 years. Can you tell me about this? That's a serious, in fact, he was on a boat cruise. He was with me for 10 years now. He's totally, his ex-wife was there, the daughter was there, and he wants to get involved. Took him 9 years, right? But the fact here is if you continue the journey and you stay the course, people watch you. People watch you. You see what you do. You've seen us for years, right? So what's happening is, we were in the Philippines.
It took me 5 years to bring in one of my girlfriends. We've done business together in the past. 5 years, because she had a lot going on with her parents, renovations, and I kept following up and following up. And finally, she had a look at it, and she was like, why didn't you make me do this 5 years ago?
You can't make people do anything.
That's what I said. And, you know, the timing has to be right for you. And we'll be opening up Indonesia because of this one person.
Now tonight, the presentation is a little bit longer because we're not here often, and we want to give you as much as we can in that time frame. Okay, so we do apologize, we're a little bit over time, but we want to make sure that you get as much as we can while we are here. Usually the presentation within 50 minutes to an hour. We went a little over that, so I apologize. So, but this guys, I'm going to turn it over to you because I know you have some really good stories. Folks, you want to hear some of those people. The stories are amazing. So Scott, I'm going to turn this over to you and finish the presentation. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the amazing presentation and sharing with us, you know, what's going on with the company and the science and what's happening around the world. So I really appreciate you guys coming all the way down to us here.
Doing it, for sure.
So I asked a few of you if you'd be willing to share your testimony. So I'd like to ask that you come forward right now. Just all of you. Just come forward, maybe stand. Maybe.
I got it warm already. I'll do that.
So, first of all, I'm going to ask Dorothy, and so Dr. Paul and Dorothy Martin from Moncton, they came up to share their testimony. So I'll just ask you to come to the front here, front and center, in the spotlight. So I appreciate you willing to share your story.
Well, basically Scott came into my office back in April, and it was just before noon. He just sort of came in the door, and I just had to be there for him. So door.
Maybe speak a little.
So he was standing in the door with the cold air coming in. We were talking at that point. He said something about if that would make me interested in something, hearing about it. And I said, oh, well, I guess so. What is it? You know, he said, glutathione. I was somewhat familiar with what glutathione was and what it does to the cell mechanism in the body and how important it really is. And I thought, well, what are you going to tell me? That sort of thing. And he said, well, we've got a product here that actually allows for the body to regenerate. You talked about the fact that glutathione diminishes as you get older. And that had a connection for me because as a chiropractor, I know that the spine degenerates also in the same type of process at the same sort of time. So you've got vascular system in the spine, which is really key to the elements of how nutrition gets to every individual cell. And I thought, I wonder if there's a relationship between this ribosine that he was talking about, because I knew that cysteine was an element in the production of glutathione inside the body. I wasn't telling him all that at the time. I was waiting to see what he was going to say. But anyways, I said, well, you know, let's have a meeting sort of thing. And then Dorothy was interested, so we listened to the meeting. And I thought, well, we'll try this. You know, he had a sample back. And after a week, I thought, well, it seemed to be too much, except that I seemed to have a lot more energy than I used to. And I thought, well, you know, because you don't really expect a whole bunch, you know, in a short period of time. It's not like you're taking medication for infection or anything like that. So, anyways, I felt a little better there. And, you know, the only issues I have are mostly my knees from sports and from my work, balancing one leg or the other when I'm working on lower backs. And this knee's been giving me a lot of trouble to the point that prior to meeting Scott, sometimes in the wintertime I actually had to walk up the stairs backwards first thing in the morning because it was so painful. And today, I'm basically near pain-free, though the knee is still pretty long. I know that it's probably eventually a surgical thing, but it's not pain. And as a result, I'm a lot more comfortable and I can do a lot more things.
Well, I was just, well, for one thing, I always have problems with my intestines, you know, which is.
Would you speak up?
I always have problems with my intestines, like, as far as I can remember. When I was about 17, I had a ski accident, so I had a compression fracture in my spine, so the whole lower spine was affected. You know, I had multiple pregnancies, and you know, so on my feet all the time, and also about 20 years ago, when I went to see a kinesiologist, he told me that my spleen was underactive, so he was working to talk to me. So anyways, but I always, you know, kept good care of myself, and, you know, ate well, and took good supplements, and I always felt pretty good, and, but then, I have to say, you know, here we are in retirement age. Glutathione levels go down, right? But I started to really feel like I was going downhill. Like, I just felt like I was falling apart. Come home from work sometimes because I'm working in retail on my feet all the time, and you know, concrete floors. And I just, as soon as I say the problem, I just can't do this anymore. And so, you know, we thought we would give this a try. And also, you know, my digestion and everything. And after that first week with the 5 trial pack, I noticed that my stomach got flattened. So that was pretty exciting. And then we got onto the product full-time by about a month later. And about a month into it, I noticed this started to really hurt. It almost felt like, you know, when your hands freeze when you're outside, you don't really notice it kind of get numb. Then when you come inside, they start to really hurt when they kind of come alive again. Well, that's the kind of feeling that I had. And it was really sore to touch, and my stomach started to feel it again. And that took about a month, and I got the energy. My back, I forgot to say, my back was, I terrible pain, especially with changing weather. And I get up in the morning and my back was so sore, the whole back, not just the spine. And that was, diminishing. I had days that were totally, pain-free. I could walk over the heels again. and I'm just feeling so much better.
So next person is a friend of mine, Nikki. She's a retired armed military veteran, and we knew each other in the military. And through reconnecting after we both released from the military, and I was talking about what it did for me, I shared it with her. And it's very short time. How long have you been on it now?
25 days.
25 days so far. So Nikki, I think, has agreed to share what it's done for her in 25 days.
Okay, to make a long story short, okay, I was military. I did get military release like Scott did due to a medical condition called hydrocephalus, which is commonly known as water on the brain. This can be caused by car accident or such a thing as meningitis. Lucky for me, that's what I got as a child. Apparently, back in the 70s, there was no technology that we have today. And apparently, there was no second cause. And I was always very active physically, in sport. I was coaching boxing, I was doing bodybuilding. I got into the military as a cook, which was very physical work. And in my early 30s, well, I started having like numbness, dizziness, head rush, and we're trying to rule out cancer, tumor, MS, and they came up with hydrocephalus. It was a matter of time of getting the release, obviously, because of the work that I've done. And as they said, like age doing such a physical work will catch up to you. So I got military release, got into a transition, being labeled as the military that probably had PTSD, which was not the case. Like for me, the hydrocephalus has caused me to have a epilepsy, which was caught on time because it would have been the low epilepsy. It's called a petit mal, but it affected my memory, short term that is. But it came to the point that for this past 25 days, and I told Scott in the parking lot, I'm like, thanks for giving me back my life for the last 25 days, because there are days that getting up in the morning would be, okay, well, am I going to take a shower today, or am I going to do my grocery today? And this is the way to live. And then I met Scott in April, and because it took like almost 2 years before I was able to get the right doctor to help me out, the neurologist. So I said, I'm not doing any move without him. And it's hard to see a doctor, it's really hard to see a specialist. And one day I just got up and I said, you know what, I'm sick of this. Of course, we're all aging. I want to age, but I want to age with my time. And there's days I swear to God, like I felt like I was probably 72. And when I tried it, we're texting, I told Scott, I said, I don't know if it's the will of believing, but I just feel like I had a shot of B12. And there was Scott saying, well, there is B12 in it. Like, oh, okay, so I don't know what's going on, but it almost felt like, the best way I can explain it, it's almost like my neurologic problem has been stabilized, because I'm able to have more energy. So the last 9 days, I've been able to take my dog to the trail for half an hour each time. I went to the basement doing a little bit of weightlifting. I've been able to, what I've noticed too is like the second week, like the way I'm standing now. When I go to my specialist, the first neurologic kind of testing, you will make me do is stand up straight. And usually I go like this, but now I'm standing up. And I don't get tired when I'm standing like this. Before I would have to move around, but now I don't. And the other thing that really was amazing was the fact that I was able to go visit my brother in Halifax, who's also ex-military, and I was able to stay without having to postpone my trip back, because I would always have episodes due to my health, and there's days that I wouldn't be able to walk without my cane, or just feeling just like exhausted. And my focus, like, I've been able to get the paper and read the paper without having my brain going all over. But in my case, I'm talking about neurologic problem. Everybody's got all different kind of problem, but this is what I'm sharing with you tonight. And I can see a difference in my skin. And the last 25 days, my life's been amazing.
Which products are you taking?
It's the yeah, it's still
Celgenity,
and the orange and green.
ATP, and Max Infuse. All three. Awesome. Now you can have a seat. Jackie. Next person is a friend of mine, runs Romeo's Marine in Shediac. I used to have a boat. I used to go see her all the time. Became good friends. So I was over one time. I didn't know she was struggling with anything. I just knew she was a really great person and a good person to know. And we always friendly with each other. And I let her know one time that we were having an event and she was welcome to come out. And she came out to see the event and decided to give it a try. So I welcome you to, that was a year?
A year ago.
About a year.
Not quite a year.
Not quite a year.
Yeah, it was at the end of August.
So at the end of August last year.
Yes.
So go ahead and share what you.
Well, he came up to me and he says, you know what? You got nothing to lose. Why don't you try it? I said, exactly. I got nothing to lose. Let's see what's going to happen. But me, I had two hips replaced, a knee replaced, and a femur broken. The knee is what broke my femur. I had a hairline fracture in it, and 6 months later, my leg broke. And I was having a really, really hard time to walk. And I was even scared of little, like when you go to a sidewalk, those little curbstones, I couldn't even go up that. I had to have somebody beside me, because when he operated me, he took this leg and he stretched it, and I lost all of my feelings in the leg. And he says, oh, you're really lucky, I gave you an inch. I said, no, don't say that to her. Don't say that to a girl that you gave him an inch. You're 5 inch heels, So anyways, long story short, if I would have known about this before my operation, I probably wouldn't have the operation. The reason why I'm saying this is because last year when I went to see him, I wasn't on this, it was in June, and he says, next year in June,